Hi, Dr. Story here. Have you had lab testing recently and some of your labs came up with bold print or red and said, oh no, is this abnormal? Well, that's one of the challenges with interpreting labs, and it's one of the reasons that you need a doctor to help think things through. Let me explain. When a doctor uses labs, usually we're starting with asking you questions, hearing from you, doing a good exam, and then using labs to think through the problem that we're identifying. And labs in that regard are often used to think, okay, what's the first step in investigating this for you? When we use those labs, we're also looking for patterns, and we're using ranges of normal. A range means that most people with this lab measured are going to be within one spot and another. For some labs, like blood salts, your range is actually very narrow. For other conditions, like blood counts, the range is actually quite wide. But what's interesting is that almost all of our labs use something called the bell-shaped curve, which says that most people are within one range. For a doctor, however, we also know that there are people on each shoulder, meaning just a little on one side or a little on the other, who still might be normal. To you, that might be a surprise that you might have a bold print on your lab or a red flag on your lab and think, oh no, is this something that is dangerous? That's why a doctor can walk you through this and be able to say, hey, thinking about your total health or looking at the pattern of your labs or considering where you're at and some of the questions we're asking, this might actually be normal for you. So let's help you do that. Bring your labs to us, let's talk them through, and let's be able to carefully think on how your labs can best fit your health.